Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to be going through all the components inside this New Flyer electric bus. My coworker Shane is going to take you through and show you all the individual components that we have in our EV system here on top of the bus. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Shane with Knoxville Area Transit. I oversee the EV bus program, training, safety. I'm going to go over a quick introduction of the EV rack on top of our Alpha 2 buses. These are made by New Flyer. They're a Canadian EV bus company. They produce other buses. So this is the inverter rack. It's important to understand the individual components that we have in here and what the components do. We do have diagrams on the doors if you forget, but it's a good idea to understand the primary box we have here. That is my high voltage junction box. All of my high voltage DC comes out of my battery storage and goes through here. I'll open this up. Everything has already been verified 0 voltage, so this is just for training purposes only. In here we have our mega fuses that we have coming from our DC side into my inverters. I have some smaller fuses that go to some peripheral components. Here to my right I have my first inverters made by Siemens. That is my motor inverter. That takes my high voltage DC and turns it into 3-phase AC. That runs down to my motor underneath the bus. I have a companion inverter next to it that does the same thing, except it feeds my peripheral components. I have an electric air compressor on the bus, I have a Thermo King chiller, and I have my HVAC, which is inside the bus. That comes out of my inverter rack and comes over here to a downstream distribution panel where I have some contact relays and I have some circuit breakers that I can use for testing and for safety. Over here fully to the left, I have what's called the Dyco. This is my digital interface for my Siemens system. Basically, it's an ECM, and I got a bunch of fuses on the low voltage side. Underneath here is just a DC voltage, 28 volt junction box for my Vanner. The Vanner we'll hear called a DC to DC or a beltless alternator. That just takes my 600 volts, 680 volts DC nominal and turns it into my 28 volt DC support for my house batteries. We have a small component over here that partners with a Siemens. It's my IMD, my insulation monitoring device. The bus is constantly being monitored for my high voltage floating ground to chassis ground. It's a safety precaution. That pretty much gives you a quick overlay of the components inside of our auxiliary rack on top of the bus. At another video, we go in more in depth on each individual component, what it does and how it does it, and how to test it. Thank you.